Hey brothers, we're ironworkers, 7-Eleven.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good,
I'd
good.
like to sign in receipt email updates on the project.
What
They felt it was a quarry.
do you know what kind of compressor stations are they going to have? Do you know?
Where they would get the right...
And how many at this point?
Let me show you what.
Oh, they were...
Let me show you a picture of it. Mike.
And what kind are they? Are they just compressing? This is what they might look like?
This is what they might look like. This is a station. It's in 310. It's in Western Pennsylvania. We put that in back in 2000.
This is a Kinder Morgan's compressor station?
This is a turbine. This is a 16,000 horsepower turbine.
So how many compressors are in there?
There's one in there.
Just one?
Right, there's one. The stations we're looking at here vary in horsepower between 40,000, right around the 40,000 mark. So we would take this and extend the building out. It'd be the same footprint, just a bigger footprint.
And then is there any kind of processing going on or just compression?
No, we don't do, we try to...
Do you have any dehydrators or anything like that?
Typically no.
No?
Sometimes we do if the gas is coming in wet, but normally that's not the case.
But if the gas is coming from Pennsylvania, it's already processed.
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time?
Most of the time, the gas in Pennsylvania is very dry also. Marcellus gas is very dry.
Right. So then you don't have to process it, you don't have dehydrators. Like we have dehydrators in our compressor stations, the Williams stations.
Oh, you with Williams? Okay.
No, I'm with, I'm a resident of Susquehanna County.
Okay. Like I was saying, it varies. If there's a risk of liquids, we'll have separators.
You will have separators at the stations?
Oh yeah, we'll have here.
So will you have any condensate tanks if you're separating?
Yes, usually we have small tanks. We don't get too many liquids, but we have. You have to understand with a piece of equipment like this, it's very, very expensive. If liquid gets in it, it ruins it.
Yeah.
So we take whatever liquid's there, small amount. We take it out. It either goes into a tank or it just stays in the sump of the filter system.
So what else do you have? You have separators, you have scrubbers or anything like that?
That's the same thing.
Same thing? So do you have heaters?
No, that's typically with the dehydration train.
Dehydration, so you don't have heaters?
We don't have heaters. We have coolers. We have gas
coolers?
Yes.
Okay. And where is it going to start? Do you know where the actual Kinder Morgan line, I heard it was in Bradford County?
Yeah.
Do you know where it starts, or somebody knows that?
Can I take you over to one of these other maps over there?
Yeah.
The stuff that's in blue is the pipeline that's going to parallel Constitution.
But it's coming from where? Where is this?
Right. So this is an existing system we got, the 300 line. Okay.
The 300 line. Is that considered the Tennessee or something else?
This is Tennessee up here. This is Tennessee right here. Okay.
Okay.
All this gas. This takes gas to the eastern seaboard. It drops it off in various meter stations on the way. That station you just saw back there. That's back here at 303.
Oh, it's back here?
It's way back there at 303.
Oh, okay. So that would be, do you know where that location is, the town or the county?
It is Seneca, I believe. Seneca, Pennsylvania. S-E-N-E-C-A, Seneca.
Don't recognize that, but do you know what county or anything? We don't know?
I can find out.
We'll have to find out,
I don't know off the top of my head.
So this is the new line right here?
That is it. We have two loop lines. We're going to loop this line here, we're going to loop this line here, and then we're going to build a new line.
And how big is this line right
30
here?
inch.
30 inch. And what's the pressure, the highest pressure in that line, do you know?
We're designing this line for 1460.
1460?
This line for 1460.
And is this a 30 inch also?
Yes. And there's one little stretch in here that's going to be 1600, and that's to get gas into Iroquois.
Into the Iroquois, the little stretch right there to go into the This is the Iroquois right here.
That takes this Canadian gas and brings it down to New York City.
Canadian gas, Iroquois coming down into Connecticut. Yeah, and then this line keeps going. What's the full length of it that you're putting in?
I'll have to look on one.
And then is it going right to any kind of a seaport?
It stops right here.
Stops right there for now. And that's Drake. Is that Massachusetts?
Yes, that's in Massachusetts. We have pipelines that come in here, and it's going to go into Drake, and then it's going to spread out from Drake.
Okay. So, and it still stays 30-inch at this point?
Yes.
It's the largest at any point is 30-inch?
Yeah, diameter, 30-inch diameter. That's
Okay.
This line right here.
And are you using steel from where?
Yes, it's all steel.
I know. Do you know where the steel's coming from?
No, we haven't. We have suppliers. We've used suppliers from. We have several suppliers in the United States.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn this around so we know who we're talking to. Bill Thomas? Okay. Hi,
Several
Bill.
suppliers in the United States. Hi.
Vera Scroggins.
Okay, Vera, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So you have several suppliers where in the United States?
Yeah, we got suppliers Birmingham. We got U.S. Steel.
Is it all American made or is it any of it imported?
We don't know that yet. It could be part of it could be imported, yes.
And do you know where it might be imported from?
We have mills. We have mills in Greece. We have mills in Turkey. There are mills in India. Now, these are mills that they go through an approval process, quality assurance and quality control process.
So that means what? Kinder Morgan owns those mills?
No.
Who owns it?
Third-party mills.
A third party owns it.
That's what they do for. We're not in the business of manufacturing.
And then do you know who they might be? Or they're all different individual owners that own in those different countries?
They're different companies.
Different companies?
They're different companies. But they're not all owned by the same company.
Okay. And what about China? Anything in China?
You know, I'm not aware of any mills that we have approved yet in China. The Chinese, we have, there are certain materials like fittings that we buy from the Chinese, but I'm not familiar with any pipe mills that we've got approved in China, from China.
Now, what about the thickness of the steel? Do you know how thick it is, or?
It's going to vary. There's a design. It's called Barlow's equation, and there's a factor of safety in there that'll dictate whether or not we use a high-grade steel or a lower-grade steel, and will dictate what the wall thickness will be.
So, do you know what the variations are from how thick to how thick? What the variations might be?
Yeah, I mean, these generally, it's going to vary probably between 500, could go up to 750 wall. I don't know. I'm not. One of those other guys.
Do you know how? Yeah, some other guys are into that. Yeah, I would like to talk to them at some point. Hi there. What is your name?
Panola to you.
Okay, I don't know if I can say
Good
that.
leaf.
Good leaf?
Good leaf.
Good leaf. Good to see you. How's that drum? You playing it a little
Oh,
bit?
it was beautiful. It's got a beautiful tone.
Does it have a good tone?
Yeah, real beautiful.
Thank you. We're going to use our drum. Thank you, Bill. All right, I'll try and find somebody about pipelines and thicknesses and
Let me see.
any more information. Someone who's an expert on the steel, maybe.
I'll send them. Actually, I'll tell you what. You see Perry over there? This one right there.
This one?
Sorry?
Thank you very much. Thanks, Bill. We got food here, some hot food.
Wow.
I'll do my best.
So, So, what kind of operations do you do? I mean, at the compressor stations, how often are they manned?
We're manned during the day, usually from 7 different locations or different ones, but we're usually from 7 till about 4:30, Monday through Friday.
Oh yeah, so they have somebody manning those stations 5 days a week?
Mm-hmm.
And then do you have some kind of like computer remote control of the station in case something happens?
Absolutely.
And where's your station for remote control? Where would that be?
Okay.
How do they like remote control it? Like where are they looking?
All of our facilities, every one of them are automated, and we have facilities in our Houston. We have a gas control department.
Houston, Texas, you mean?
Houston, Texas. And they can monitor that through our SCADA system.
So it's from Houston, Texas, you're monitoring?
But we have a call-out system also that we also will.
And how's the call-out system work? What would that be like?
It's the same situation where our call-out system activates. we get a call from our Houston department, and they'll call us out and have people to respond in the event of any issues that might come up.
So are you planning on doing what we call like gas releases, maintenance releases? Do you do any of that?
From time to time, there could be.
And then what's the purpose for that, the gas releases? Do you have a name for it? Do you call them blowdowns or anything like that?
Well, we call them maintenance releases. Just for doing compressor work, if we need to do any maintenance on our compressors, so we can evacuate the gas out.
And how often is that done, you think? There's no special time?
No, there's no certain frequency. Just depends on our operations. We'll do annual inspections that will require that, and it just depends on how our operations are going as we monitor through our electronics.
And then, do you do gas releases for any other reason besides maintenance? Is there any other reason that they would release gas besides that?
At the compressor station?
Yeah, at the pipelines leading to the compressor station. The station itself now?
No, just normal maintenance. Yeah.
And then, do you know if it's a class 1? You're under FERC at this point. You've taken permits under FERC. So then, do you know if you're a class 1 classification through those lines? Through that? How long is that whole pipeline? From Pennsylvania to Massachusetts?
Depends on which segment. Because we're in two different segments. We have our supply segment and our marketing segment. Supply segment's from Pennsylvania up to Wright.
To where?
To Wright.
Oh, to Wright. Okay.
Right. And then from there is a market, and we go over into New Hampshire.
And how long of the length is that to Wright? From
to be honest with you,
Pennsylvania?
I'm not for sure exactly.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get a length from anybody.
I would think because it's still in
development
stage.
And design.
Because of the land, we're getting through our land routing system and that kind of thing. So to be honest with you, I don't know exactly how long that is.
And then, do you know where it starts even? I mean, is that difficult to say too, where it starts? Is it Bradford County? Do you know what county in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I don't know which county it is in Pennsylvania because I'm more in the New York segment.
Oh, you're the New York.
Yeah.
Any Pennsylvania segments here?
Not here, no.
Okay.
No.
I guess
they'll have some open houses
I know,
down there.
they have an open house. I'm from Pennsylvania,
Oh,
so
are you?
that's why
What
I'm
part?
asking. Susquehanna County.
Susquehanna.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was wondering about that. So this is how they're going to go under any kind of
HDD,
waterways.
Horizontal drilling.
So it's horizontal. Is this considered? Oh, it's directional horizontal, right?
Right.
Is that the main way you're going to do it? To go through the waterways?
Well, I don't know. It depends on. This is all construction. I'm more in operations.
Oh, okay, your operations.
Yeah,
so I have to ask somebody else for
Yeah,
this.
you'll have to ask them for exactly all the locations and what they're going to be doing. But that's kind of that's a standard procedure on doing our normal HDDs.
Right. I've seen that being done in our area. So this will be a compressor station here.
Yeah, this is a rendition.
Of which one?
It's just a general. Again, we don't have that established, but that gives you an idea of. This is just a very general idea of how it's going to look.
Which one's going to look like that?
This particular one has going to have three compressor units because of the stacks that we have.
Yeah.
And so there'll be 3 units in that facility.
And will that be at the beginning of the line, or this is at the right location?
This particular one has 3 compressors, so that should be our mid station.
Which is where?
That's going to be in Oneonta area.
Oneonta?
I'm sorry, I don't know if you can tell I'm not from around here. I just moved up here.
Oh, okay. Where are you from?
Arkansas.
Oh, okay. Oneonta is the mid station.
That's where we're kind of looking at. Again, that's still kind of been designed for.
And then isn't there a station at Wright also that they're going to expand?
There's a tail station there.
And what's the difference between the tail station and the mid? Oh, horsepower.
Yeah.
And then won't there be a station also in Pennsylvania, in the beginning of the line, or?
Yeah.
So there'll be. So you have to. Will it be similar size like this?
Again, you'll see some of the similar.
It'll be similar.
This is just a pictorial.
Right, but it'll be like a 3 compressor station possibly. So that in the beginning of Pennsylvania.
No, this one here. In Pennsylvania, I believe we'll have 2 units there. So you'll basically just see like that.
Oh, okay, 2 units, and then you're going to go to the midstream, to the midpoint, is it? Is that what that means, midpoint?
Mid-station, yeah.
Mid-station?
It's just that we have compressor stations that will pump the gas, continue to pump the gas to the, well, in this case, to the northeast, and then when it hits our market side, it will go to the east.
Then will you have anything after the Wright station?
Yeah, we'll have one that's going to be up close to Albany.
Close to Albany, there'll be a whole new station there?
Possibly, yes.
And that might be a, what do you think, a 2 or 3?
3 unit.
A 3 unit? And then will there be anything after Albany as it goes through New England?
Yeah, they're still working on that one.
They're working on
They're
something
still working
there?
on there.
Do
Yeah,
you know
again, that's not my area because I'm just strictly in New York. When you get past Massachusetts
okay.
and into New Hampshire, that's a different area.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm good for now.
Okay.
Thank you. So that sounds like a 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 compressor stations along the whole line.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. On the markets, on the supply side.
On the supply side, which leads up to what? Right is the
They'll
supply.
go to right and then over into the mass border.
So how many up to right? Maybe 3? What do you think?
4, just depends. Again.
Maybe 4 stations, and then there might be several more after the, what do you call it, supply side, and then what's the other side? Market side.
Just the terminology where it breaks over.
Okay. And anybody else who's like an expert? I did talk to somebody about compressor stations.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm going to be more the operation side of it, not the not the construction side.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Milton.
Okay. And, and what was your name again?
I'm
sorry.
Vera.
Vera. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi. How are you?
Hey there.